Yo, how's it going, guys? Today we got the Zefra Teller Bystials. This is what I hit duel level max with in the Duelist Cup. I've been grinding out the second stage with Zefra Teller Cash, so I'll have a video on that coming up next. The thought process behind this is that the Bystials are really good in the current meta. Mathmech is really obnoxious. Dragon Link is very powerful. It's good into the Labyrinth matchup. And Regained gives us a crazy grind game where we get to recycle the Magnemite every turn. We get to recycle stuff that we banish, like off the Caduceus or off of our own Bystials. So you could Bystial your M7, and then Regained puts it back into the extra deck for you, and you get to draw a card. This gives you like some more hand trap options as well. You can end on these because IP plus Jewess Worm gets to clear 2 guys. Have the Ball Drake plus any of your dudes gets to get rid of an extra deck monster. So very nice. There's also the added synergy of them all being level 6 dark monsters, and the Tellarknights are all level 4 light monsters. So you can go into a Chaos Angel. It gets both effects, right? So your synchro monsters are, well, only this guy is unaffected by activated monster effects, and none of your monsters can be destroyed by battle. Plus you get the banish on summon, and it has 3500 attack. Nobody sees this coming, really, since this deck isn't known for synchro summoning. This also gives you a play to make under Dimension Barrier. All in all, I really like it. I had to cut down the deck size a bit to see them more often. I also cut the Isolde bricks here for consistency. It still does its job in the deck of chain blocking the Delta Rose and grabbing you follow-up in form of Lyran or Deneb, whichever you're missing. Lyran is usually better since we run the second of the continuous spell, so that gives us great follow-up there. And yeah, again, we get to chain block the Delta Rose, so we get to at least grab the Altair off of it to get it back, and then if we link it off again, then they can Ash there, but we already have so much advantage it doesn't really matter. We're not running the bricks because drawing them really sucks, especially going second. For going second, we have, of course, a few of the hand traps. We have Ash Blossom because we need to stop Maxx. We have Jewel and Lockbird because it's a blowout turn ender card, and we can use it as an answer to Maxx as well. Since once we add the continuous spell, we don't really need to add anything to our hand for the rest of the turn, and we can keep comboing under it and prevent like another 4 to 7 draws. So that's really nice. And then we have the Small World here for Pankratops and Kurikara to help us go second. Bystials hopefully help us a bit as well. Of course, we can always make Zeus. In the extra deck, we have the Baguska as our backup option, or plan B. This can help make Zeus in some board states. It can also turn off some decks like Branded or Cash. It really helps there. Also, if you get shifted, most decks that run shifter really need to not play against Baguska. Something like Fluenderies, Exo Sisters, Kashtira all lose pretty hard to it. So that's a pretty solid backup option. You can also make it under Maxx if you're coping a little bit. This is probably the flex spot, to be honest. We're not running Batlamus in here since I didn't have room to squeeze it in. I think I value all the other cards just more, to be honest. I think Trigger, if it comes up, is just too nutty. You can't make this on their turn without the Batlamus though, which is kind of awkward. So I'm still on the fence about this one. You can also consider running Durandal, which gives you a negate for a normal spell or trap card, more or less. Or you can detach one tool from this card. Each player with the hand shuffles their entire hand in the deck and then draws the same number of cards they shuffled. But you can combo this with Droll to make them shuffle back their whole hand and then not draw anymore because they're under Droll. Alright, so I only have a few replays here, but I hope you guys enjoy them. I hope you see how the Bystials can help strengthen our end board, and how cutting all of these cards doesn't actually weaken our deck by a significant amount. Speaking of cards I cut, I kind of forgot this, but we did cut the Constellar package of the Constellar Caduceus and the Constellar Sheraton. These are really nice to have in the deck because this is just a free special summon that you grab off of the Sheraton here. But drawing the Sheraton is kind of bricky. You lose to your normal summon getting disrupted. You have to normal summon this one, and it's not even level 4. You lose access to like 2 card turn skips by cutting these, but you also don't brick on them. And you have more space for stuff like the Bystial package, which I feel has more value. You can still turn skip, but you need 3 card combos or 4 cards for the most part to make it work then. But it's still possible. And if my opponents would make me go first more often, I would definitely consider putting it back in. Right now, it's about every 3rd coin flip I lose that I have to go first, which is actually quite a bit, to be honest. But in around a 1/3 of those games, I can still just turn skip, and the other ones, we put up a solid board anyways. And then, to be fair, if they're opting to go second, like, their deck is tailored to it. It's part of the strategy to force us to go first. So that's kind of their win condition as well. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy the replays. Here's where the Bystials come up that I've been trying to splash into the Zefra Tellarknights. I'm going to lead with the Lubellion here. Grabbing the Magna Hut. Providence fetching our Oracle here for a Zefra. Now, I'm not sure if I want to actually grab the Oracle here with the reduced size we're running. Normally, you'd want to like pull all of them out of your deck, right? But here, we're not running that many, and drawing into another Zefra card is actually pretty nice because you usually just get to keep one in the scale anyways, and then you just have your pen summon available to you. So here we're just getting rid of the Ash Blossom. He doesn't seem to have a Maxx, so we're just going to go grab our other scale here. Combo off a little bit, just a standard line with the Zefra core here. And the nice thing is, since we exceed this off, this gives us the Zefra core engrave as another dark. Also pretty cool that we drew the altar that we got to pitch. So let's just get the Lubellion early here for the regained, which is really, really nice since Caduceus banishes for cost and regained just puts it right back. So that's pretty sweet. We also get a draw off of that. Now we use the Constellar Tellarknights here. Gonna rank this up, rank it right back down again. Link off into Isolde. Grab some follow-up. Like chain block in the Delta Rose. Gonna bring it back. Link these off. We don't care about the Lubellion anymore, so we're gonna use that one for the Apo. Setting the Alteran. And we're gonna go into Batlamus here. And the Ptolemaeus. Now, it's kind of awkward is I was trying to run it without Triver this game. So, Diamond is actually my only Stellar Knight I have in the extra deck to attach Ptolemaeus. Probably should have sequenced this differently. I really wanted to get the Diamond off of Ptolemaeus so I can just negate everything with the Batlamus together. Batlamus also, well, it doesn't have enough names anyways. But that's the one that could go into the Triver. I'm not on it here though. So I adjusted the extra deck a little bit after this. He leads with the Ascend of Thunder. We get the Magnuma out. And at this point, he is threatening making a Pep, which we can't really out. None of our interaction does anything to it, so it is pretty dangerous. So we're just going to opt to just pop all of his stuff here. Gonna make the Pleiades here. And we get to actually pop 2 guys since we have 2 light or dark exceed monsters. They're both dark right now. Doesn't matter which ones they are though. It's just the number. So we're gonna pop both of these. This plays into more Kashtira cards, but we still have the bounce, which does nothing against them. And we have Apo, which might help. And we're just gonna negate that out of disrespect, and he surrenders here. Alright, so this end is kind of awkward, but it really shows the toolboxy nature of the deck. We're going to go ahead and grab the Zefrath here first, and now Small World is kind of awkward because you don't have any good bridges. The best I could do was stroll through Kurikara into the Petting Sasur.
And this does still let us get the Deneb search for our low scale and get into the Caduceus. Going to banish Lyran here to get access to our continuous spell, scale the Thuban and the Zefrath. And we're going to get the bodies on the board here, bring this one back. And we're going to do the standard ranking up and ranking back down shenanigans into the Deltaros. We unfortunately can't make Isolde right here since the Shadow Zefra core is a rock and not a warrior, and it's in the EMZ, so we need to use this to make a link monster. So what we're going to do here instead is we're going to link off the Deltaros into an IP, and then we can bring it back here by summoning out the Altair. And now we link these off into the Isolde to grab us some follow-up here. And the thought process here is we can add the Altairin, and now we're not using it this turn anyways, right? Now the Deltaros can get the Lyran for the continuous spell as follow-up, and since we're using the Thuban as Exceed material, we get to draw a card and then discard a card. And our discard is going to be the Altairin, which you want in the graveyard. That's why we added it, right? So we get to add a 4th material here. So what's our end board? We have an IP for Goddess is my only target. We have Altairin coming back with a pop, and we have Ptolemaeus going into Pleiades or a Diamond. Pleiades would have, of course, the 1 bounce, but it also has another bounce next turn, so we could search off Oracle of Zefra, or we could bounce it in the field, or we can get the Diamond out for 2 Dark Monster negates. And of course, we have the Ash in hand, and we have some follow-up in hand as well. So our opponent's playing Dark World, which is pretty hard to negate as a deck. But we're going to Ash this. I'm going to keep him off of the field spell if I can. And now he has the Danger Thunderbird. He's going to hit a Bigfoot here, I think. Ah, no, he hits the Mothman, which draws. I'm going to pitch the Ash because it's dead. And now he pitches the Bigfoot. This was the wrong target, definitely. So we're going to use it to rank up. I know it's a dark deck now, so we're going to go into the Diamond. This lets us negate 2 dark monsters and destroy them. And put in an attack position so it's harder to beat over here. And the Altairin comes back, and we'll pop his monster here. So on 4 cards, I have 3 disruptions left. Now it banishes this to send the Grapho. This has to get negated 100%, but unfortunately he chain blocks it, so we're negating that with a Diamond. And because of how his chain link works, he's going to chain this, and I get to negate this as well. So if he was smart, he would have just not chained it. But now I get full value off the Diamond before it pops. So we get to clean that up. Get to negate this from coming back. Now our dude gets popped, and when he summons this, we're just gonna make a Goddess right away. This also stops the graveyard summon. And clears the board, and he already used the Mothman, so anything he draws doesn't matter because he can't draw. And he scoops here.
Alright. This one is kind of an awkward duel, but it really shows off a lot of the nice stuff that this engine does for our deck here. We have the normal Zefra combo to get into our Tellers, just by sending the Zefra core to pull the Thuban from scale. We have the answer to Maxx here, fortunately. We're going to Caduceus. And so, this just lets me draw one to pitch one. I just do it because shiny yellow button, and I like clicking on it. Sometimes it pays off, like if you hit a teller name that you don't need later on, you can pitch that to get the Bystials live. If you use it later on in your combo, you can pitch the Altairin if you add it to your hand, which frees up some other searches and stuff. So yeah, it could come up. Otherwise, I just like cycling my hand. It's probably not the best line. What's really interesting is, I don't think I have the replay anymore, but you can make Chaos Angel with a Zefra to stack a monster on top of your deck. And then you can make an Exceed with another Zefra, and then you get to draw one and pitch one, and that lets you draw the card that you stack on top of your deck. This is usually way too much commitment, and we don't have actual payoffs for us to like consistently want to go for it here. But when the Super Heavy Samurais release, this is actually a super viable line where I think you Baron to stack the top deck, and then you just make Caduceus, and then you draw into something like the Wicked Avatar is funny. You could get like a Vanity's Ruler or something as well. You could just search for a Regulus for another negate. So something to keep in mind for the future. So starting next month. But right now it's more of a gimmick, but it's a nice possibility to have. So we got a continuous spell here. That's the most important thing. We're not getting the Constellar line off of this. So it's kind of awkward, but yeah. And now here's where things get really awkward. So I don't really want to banish the Lupelion. I can't use the Magnemite again anyways, because he hit my target with it, right? So if I want to get the Lupelion out, we have our normal summon left. So we're going to tribute this, and then we're going to grab back the Lupelion here. And now we're going to use Lupelion to place the Regained. Now we have our continuous spell here. Do note we're not playing Beast because I think it's too bricky. It's kind of nice, but you don't need it really. We have 2 forms of spot removal on our standard end board. Plus we have the IP for a 3rd point of spot removal. I think Regain is just great for the grind game that it gives us. Which you can see right here is he's going to banish the Thuban here from our graveyard. And now we can use Regained. First we're going to use the Tellarknights to summon this guy back. I don't know why I didn't hit that one. Doesn't really matter. But Regained is going to put this one back to draw a card, and then it's going to summon out the Magnemite, which now gets its effect because it's special summon again. We just get massive advantage here, and then we can still rank up and rank back down our Caduceus and combo off. And our opponent lost 3 cards in their hand because they ran through 2 Bystials and the Maxx that all didn't actually stop our turn. I guess he gets a search in the end phase, but it's still pretty not so good game state for them. Alright, I hope you guys found those games interesting, showing off what this deck can actually do. I'll leave the deck list in the description as well. If you guys think I should show the replays first and then go over the deck list afterwards, let me know. Yeah, I think maybe you could tweak a few of these ratios if you would like. The non-engine is kind of up in the air right now, to be honest. I'm not sure if I like running it like this. You could probably push it down a bit lower in card count wise, run some more outs to Maxx. But you'd also kind of want to run more Zefra cards. It's very awkward. I think if Maxx wasn't a consideration, I just like max out on all the good cards. Doesn't really matter. Because you have enough gas to play through like any other hand trap for the most part. It's just that Maxx kind of needs an answer or you will lose, which is nice because we get to draw, right? Yeah, maybe we swap to Baguska again, but I think the cool thing is that these decks aren't solved. There's not enough people playing them really. There's ratios that are more or less solved, right? You know, oh, I want to run these cards at least, or I want to run this many of this card, but there's still like a lot of flex that you can use to express your own preferences while playing, which is, I think, a really beautiful part of Yu-Gi-Oh! So I hope you guys enjoy playing this deck if you decide to make it. It's not terribly expensive, I guess, if you have the Zefra cards or the Constellar cards. It's just the Constellar extra deck is kind of up there, yeah. Yeah, but if you guys have your own takes on this, let me know for sure. I'd love to see them, and maybe I can improve my list some more as well then. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one.